Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're doing a comparison. I haven't done a comparison video in ages. So as you can see, I've already done the look. I'm comparing the Huda Beauty new Nude palette with the Technic invite only palette. So they are dupes. Well, this is a dupe for this because obviously this just came out. I believe this palette from Technic retails for £7. And then of course the Huda Beauty one is 48 or 52, something like that. So it is like a fraction of the price. So just like my other comparison videos, I want you to go ahead and pause this video and definitely let me know down below which side you think is which. So basically this is my right. This is my right side, this is my left. Do you think the right side is Technic or the left side is Technic or the right side is Huda Beauty or the left side is Huda Beauty? Definitely let me know, and also let me know if you were correct. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump straight into this video. Okay guys, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. I've already primed my eyes with the P. Louise eyeshadow base. I'm gonna start with the Huda Beauty new Nude palette and I'm gonna do it on this eye. So let me know down below if you guessed the correct eye. But this palette I have used once before and I was really a fan of the mattes in here. I can't remember how the shimmers came out, but I feel like they were okay. But the overall tone in this palette is definitely pinky purple, which I do like. I haven't used the concealer in this palette either, which is kind of like a dud shade to me. I wouldn't ever use a concealer from the palette. I have tons of concealers and I have a particular base that I like to use, but yeah, that is in there as well. So of course I'm gonna try get the exact same eye look with the Technic palette, and the Technic palette doesn't have this row right here, so it doesn't have these 3 shades, which I'm pretty happy about because they're kind of useless to me. They're way too light to kind of show up on my skin tone, and definitely the palette could do without it in my opinion, so I'm not going to use those 3 shades. So the first shade I'm going to start with, let's just start with the shade Raw, which is this one right here. It's kind of like a warm tone brown, and I'm going to start by tapping that into the crease. Gorgeous pigmentation and a beautiful color. Okay, so once I've dabbed that on, I'm gonna go into this shade here called Secret. This one here, which is kind of like a light shade, but it's gonna help this one blend out, just a little bit of that. And I'm gonna push that into the brow bone crease area just to diffuse the first color we put down. Going back into the Raw shade, just gonna build that up slowly, but they're blending beautifully so far. Really nice pigmentation, but once again, for the price of what, £55? I can't remember how much this palette is. 50 something pounds or £46, definitely expect it to perform well. So loving that so far. I'm gonna switch brushes and I'm gonna go into Spanked, which is this kind of pinky shade in the corner here. And I'm gonna put that into the crease as well. Just building on that color, trying to add a little bit more purpley pink to it. Okay, and sticking with the same brush, I'm going to go into the darkest shade in this palette, which is Love Bite, this one here, this dark purple. And this I'm going to, of course, put on the outer. Should I do a halo eye? I haven't done a halo eye in ages, so I might put this dark purple on the outer and inner corner. So yeah, they're building really, really nicely, blending out nicely. I'm going to put this on the inner corner as well, just to build that darkness there. Back into a dab of Raw and also this Spanked shade, so mixing those two, using it to blend out the dark purple into the crease. Going in one more time with that dark purple, just making sure it's nice and intense. So yeah, that is the Huda Beauty matte, and I definitely love how they blend. I love the pigmentation, especially for like purple colors. They're not patchy, they don't skip. I think they apply really, really well and like easily. They're user friendly. Ignore this little blob right here. I have some old glue that just doesn't want to come off, but yeah. So now of course we're going to go in with a shimmer shade. So I think I'm going to try it on a brush first. If it doesn't work, I will of course use my finger. So this brush that I have here is from Spectrum. It's an A18 brush. This shade up here called Fantasy is kind of like a pinky shade. So they feel really creamy when you dig your brush into it. A little bit crumbly, like it does have some fallout, and the shades of course do mix together. So I'm going to start this on the center of the eye. And I'm carrying that up towards the crease as well. So far it's applying really, really nicely. I'm gonna take another layer of that and build it up. So yeah, it does apply well with a brush. You don't necessarily need to use your finger. Okay, really happy with that shade actually. Going back into a dab of the dark purple, I'm gonna blend that on the outer and inner corner of the shimmer. So I'm gonna go into Infatuated, which is this glitter here. I am gonna use my finger for this, just because it is a pressed glitter. I think it will apply better with a finger. Wow, it picks up a lot. I'm just gonna dab that onto the center of my eye. It does seem to be sticking, but it's not super opaque. It's just like little specks of glitter, which I prefer. I do like glitters like that. But I think if you did want it to be super opaque, you would need to use a glitter glue. I think that looks super pretty. That looks really, really nice. Now, last but not least, I'm gonna go in with a inner corner color, and I'm gonna go into this goldy shade here, which is called Crave. And I'm just gonna dab that onto the inner corner. Ooh, because of the marbled effect of the actual shadow, it kind of comes out like two-toned. You can sometimes see the gold, but you can also see like specks of pink. Yeah, I really like that, but I already knew I like this palette. It's the other palette that I haven't tried, so let's just go ahead and try recreate this look with the Technic palette. So this one doesn't come with a mirror, but for a fraction of the price, I'm not complaining too much. They do have the exact same type of marbled shades. They have the same mattes, and they also have the two pressed glitters. Like I said, the only thing they don't have is the first row of mattes and the concealer shade. So here are the two palettes side by side. So as you can see, the Technic one starts from this row here. So this whole row is definitely not in this one, which I really don't mind, but yeah, there we have them. So I am gonna take different brushes, because every time I do a comparison video, I get comments saying, but you use the same brushes. Even though I say I clean off the brushes, I'm just gonna use different brushes today, okay? So I started with the shade Raw, which is this one here. These ones don't have names, of course, but based on the layout of the palette, this is this one here. So I'm gonna start this into the crease. Very good pigmentation. This is my first time trying this palette, by the way, so yeah. And the shade is very similar to what I remember the Huda Beauty one being. And this brush, by the way, is a Unicorn Cosmetics brush. Really, really nice and soft, fluffy. Now to blend that shade out, I went in with Secret, which is this, this shade right here. So I'm gonna take some of that and use it to diffuse this color. I do have to put a quick disclaimer out there. I am terrible at blending on this side of my face. I don't know what it is about the angle, but I can never get it right like how I do this side. So don't blame the palette, blame me. My blending on this side of my face is horrible, but you get the pigmentation and the color, okay? But yeah, so far it's blending beautifully. No patchiness, no skipping. Feels really, really soft on the eyes. So I'm gonna take a different brush now, and I'm gonna go into the pinky shade, this one here in the corner, which in the Huda Beauty is called Spanked, and run that through the crease like I did the other side. So this one adds the pinky tone. Okay, so now it's time to go in with the deep dark purple. So that is this one here. And once again, that's going on the inner and outer corner. I feel like it's not as dark as the Huda Beauty one. Let me do finger swatches quickly. Yeah, so this one is the Huda Beauty, and then this is the Technic. So Huda Beauty is definitely darker. How am I gonna get this to look the same? Maybe if I try add a dab of, no, this one's like gray. I'm gonna try a small dab. I know I didn't do it from the Huda Beauty, but I need to get the darkness somehow. I'm gonna take a little bit of this color and see if it just brings darkness. No. No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the shadows. It's just that I can't achieve the darkness that I have on this eye, on this eye. It's like this is as dark as it's gonna get. I don't know whether I should cheat and add a little bit of the Huda Beauty. Like, they're gonna look completely different if this one's dark and smoky and this one's just light and airy fairy. Let me just add the shimmers, and if I really, really need to, I will add a dab of the Huda Beauty dark purple just to get the darkness on the inner and outer corner. But for now, we're gonna stick to the Technic palette. So I went in with this shade up here. I am going to use the same Spectrum brush, but I'm going to clean it off on a wet wipe so it is literally brand new. So as you guys can see, there's nothing left on the brush. So yeah, just like the Huda Beauty one, this one feels kind of soft and like creamy, and it has a little bit of like fallout. The texture seems really, really similar to the Huda Beauty, which is good. So we're going to apply that to the eye. That is a really gorgeous foiled shimmer. That is a really nice colour. It's a little bit less pinky. Oh, it's texturizing. I feel like the Huda Beauty one was a little bit more pinky, whereas this one's more like a bronzy pink. Yeah, it looks gorgeous on the eyes, but it is more texturizing than the Huda Beauty one. So far they're looking nothing like each other. Amazing, amazing. Okay, time to add the pressed glitter. So I'm going in with this one here. So here are swatches of both of them. So this is the Huda Beauty one, and then this is the Technic. So I'm just going to dab that on. Ooh. So that is applying more or less the same. Yeah, that is applying beautifully for a glitter with no primer. I really don't know if it's going to come across on camera because glitters don't pick up too well, but that looks gorgeous. Once again, the color is slightly different. It is more of like a rosy, bronzy color, whereas the Huda Beauty was definitely more pink. So yeah guys, that is the two eyeshadow looks. I definitely think the Technic matte purple could have been darker and deeper to add more depth to the eye. You can't really tell that I've got a dark purple on my inner and outer corner, so I definitely wish it was deeper and darker, more blackened blackberry type of purple like the Huda Beauty one is. Overall, I think the shadows perform really well, the mattes blend really well, the shimmers apply beautifully, nice and foiled. The glitters definitely stick with no primer, and they are like glitters, they do have reflection and everything. So as a palette by itself, it definitely performs really well, but compared to the Huda Beauty, it's just not it's not the same. Basically, it's very similar. You can get similar looks, but you won't get the exact same effect as the Huda Beauty one, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that is my thoughts. I'm gonna go complete the rest of my face. I'm still trying to decide if I should add the dark color to the inner and outer corner. I feel like when I do my intro and I ask you guys which one is which, you're gonna obviously know. It's like so obvious that this is Huda Beauty because it just has a little bit more depth and a little bit more, not quality, but a little bit more oomph about it. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I forgot to do the inner corner. So we're gonna go into that goldy shade up here. Yeah, that is an absolutely gorgeous shade. It is kind of like a straight up gold. Really, really nice shade. I like that on the inner corner. So for the purpose of going out of the house today and looking somewhat similar, I'm going to take a small dab of the Huda Beauty dark purple shade just so I can add that darkness to this side. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of that on the inner corner. So you see how it's giving it some dimension now that there's a darker, deeper shade. Going into the Technic palette, I'm going to take this shade and this shade to help blend it out into the crease right here. Okay guys, so even for me, just that small amount of dark purple has just given this eye a little bit more oomph to it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go complete the rest of my face quickly, come back and show you guys the finished look and give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, now I'm back. So I've gone ahead and completed the rest of my face. This is the finished look. What do you think? I think I've given you my thoughts already. As a palette by itself, the Technic palette is definitely worth the money. I think the mattes perform beautifully. The shimmers are gorgeous and foiled, and the glitter definitely apply like without a primer. They stick to the eye. They're definitely like glittery. So yeah, as a palette by itself, I definitely rate it and I would definitely recommend it. However, if you wanted a exact dupe for the Huda Beauty Nude palette, I don't know if I would recommend this one just because you can't get any depth or darkness out of this palette. So I would I would still recommend it, but I mean, if you wanted darkness, you would have to reach into another palette and, you know, get a deep dark purple from there, which is not a bad thing. I mean, we all have a deep dark color, so I suppose if you wanted a dupe for the Huda Beauty palette, this would definitely be, you know, a very good dupe because the shimmers are the exact same texture, very foiled. It was really just that one shade that let me down, but I'm not going to let the review get tainted by that one deep dark purple that didn't really turn out to be deep dark purple, if you know what I mean. But I highly rate the Huda Beauty new nude palette. If you were looking into this one, I definitely think it is a good palette. Out of all of the Huda Beauty palettes, this is one of my favorites. You can get everyday looks from it, but you can also get like nighttime smoky purpley looks. I mean, pinky purpley looks like this are definitely my favorite. So if you just like cover the Technic side, I absolutely love this eye look right here. Also on my lips, I'm wearing MAC Well. That's what's on my lips. And yeah, that is my thoughts on it, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Please give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care. Bye.